Hey guys, how's it going? So today I'd like to talk about a conversation I had with a very close friend of mine, and we're quite regularly chatting or in contact. We help each other out with regard to issues that we're having, and we have some really quite deep conversations about various different things. But yeah, so um, I messaged her to find out how she was, and she said she was fine. And asked her what she was doing, and she mentioned that something was there was something a little something that was bothering her, but she was kind of okay. And I said, "Well, what is it? What's bothering you? Maybe I can help you." And she said what this problem was, and kind of one thing that kind of gave things away a little bit was that she was having issues with this particular problem, and that she was trying to avoid the matter by, basically avoiding doing what it was that she needed to do. Now, this one particular thing was very, very important for her, and she needed to do this thing to keep an eye on what was going on. But every time she did it, it triggered the anxieties and fears and all kinds of different things about that particular event. And sometimes, and obviously, I mean, I think we're very similar. And for me personally, you know, it's we very much like to analyze issues, analyze problems to try and find the solution. So we can knock it on the head, and finally get to the bottom of it, and then that will kind of help us to solve the problem. But the only problem is that sometimes you can focus too much on a problem, and by where attention goes, energy follows. So the more focus you put on a subject, and the more focus you put on trying to resolve it, in a sense, you fuel the problem, because it will continue to gain more and more steam, because the more you feed into it, and the more you say, well, what is the problem? How can I solve it? And then you don't necessarily get a million and one different answers. That's the trouble, because you're focused on the fact that the problem's there and you want to get rid of it, rather than what is the solution to the problem. And so I said as much to her in this respect. Sometimes we need to defocus. Sometimes we need to take our attention off the particular issue and focus on something differently. Because if we don't do that, we are feeding the problem. And so I gave her a bit of a solution. I said, it might be a good idea for you to just defocus, try and find a way to simplify things and defocus, because quite often, our problems can get very complicated. We can come up with a million and one different things that are causing the issue, and none of those are the answer, in a sense. So the only way is to defocus, is to focus on something else rather than the particular issue. And it's not so much, I think what I want to say is, it's not so much that the focus on solving the problem that will solve the problem. Because like I said, that makes it more complicated. It's defocusing. It's focusing on something else, not defocusing, but it's actually drawing your attention off that subject and focusing on something else. And the more you focus on that something else, the more you catch it, the more you focus on that other particular thing, the less energy you give the issue. And then that then gives you a chance to come back to it with a clear mind. And quite often I find what happens is that when you've defocused, when you're relaxed, when you're in a better state of mind, the solution then comes to you, and you're able to start to resolve the issue. Also, with issues like this, it's very they're often quite difficult to dismantle or figure out what they are sometimes, simply because they're really underneath so much crap. But it's a process of time, and it's really that kind of defocusing that will get you to ideally to where you want to be, to find out what the issue is, and obviously then to resolving it by breaking that habit. So that's today's video, guys. Hope it's been helpful, and I will speak to you very soon.